By simply using the Bank of Canada within the legal framework that already exists, we could reduce federal taxation, eliminate student debt, improve accessibility to higher education, begin to seriously attack climate change, and fund other public services. In other words, the Bank of Canada could create money debt-free for the public good. The Bank of Canada differs from other financial institutions in several ways. It can legally create money. It doesn't hold retained earnings. Any profits made by the Bank of Canada are remitted to the Receiver General, which represents the Government of Canada. It acts as the federal government's bank. It also acts as the commercial banker's bank. It is the Central Bank of Canada. Since the Bank of Canada does not hold retained earnings, it does not have a pile of cash sitting around waiting to be spent. Every time the Bank of Canada acquires securities from the Government of Canada, new money is created. For example, let's say the government wants to issue bonds to raise money for programs or payments due. Two simultaneous entries are typed into the Bank of Canada database. On the asset side of the balance sheet, the value of the securities entered under Government of Canada bonds. On the liability side of the balance sheet, the equivalent value is entered into Canadian dollar deposits, Government of Canada. This is also known as expanding the balance sheet. The Government of Canada liability to the Bank of Canada is now in the federal government's daily cash balance and can be used to fund government programs. In essence, because the Bank of Canada acts as the fiscal agent for the federal government, it is borrowing from itself. Conceptually, this is difficult for many people to accept. Regardless, this is how the process functions. What happens if the Bank of Canada holds those bonds until maturity? The government pays the principal plus interest using tax receipts and revenue. The result is the bond is now taken off the Bank of Canada's balance sheet, and at the same instant the digital money used to pay for the principal is destroyed. And because the Bank of Canada must remit any profits back to the federal government, the interest is returned to the government. In essence, the government has just paid off an interest-free loan. The result is less money in circulation, and it may even be desirable if the government and the Bank of Canada wanted to dampen the effects of inflation. However, if the government wanted to use those tax receipts and revenue for spending, it could simply issue another bond and the Bank of Canada would create more money. If we as Canadians expanded that power and Parliament mandated that the federal government issue bonds solely to fund major transfers to other levels of government, which include the Canada Health Transfer, the Canada Social Transfer, mental health transfers, and others, it could be used to reduce federal taxation by approximately 22%. This could be used as a stepping stone to more complete monetary reform proposed by Progressive Money Canada. Incremental steps could follow until all government spending was funded by the Bank of Canada. The reduced taxation would also have a stimulative effect on the economy, more money in the hands of consumers. However, any new money creation must be tempered with the effect it has on inflation. Alternatively, the Bank of Canada could create money debt-free, instead of the current system where it creates money in exchange for a debt instrument like a bond. The Bank of Canada could simply inject money into the government's daily cash balance without a requirement to pay it back through taxation or revenue. If inflation became a problem, taxation could be used to reduce the amount of money in circulation and thereby stem the effects of inflation. This transition would only be the first step in correcting our banking and financial system for the benefit of the majority, rather than the few.